So any swing thoughts you've got? Any ideas you're trying to do?
On the way back, I'm trying to swing back as I come down.
Okay.
And at impact, I'm trying to point my right shoulder at the ball.
Okay.
So those are kind of two things.
Okay.
And I'm also making sure my weight is more on the downside.
All right. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to ask you to think about or we're going to talk about really gets like directly related to how the club's going to strike the ball. Right. So, I find that, the majority of things a golfer's trying to do makes sense. Like if you sat around with your friends having a drink, it's like, oh, I'm trying to keep my head still. Yeah. We all agree, But sometimes that's not the piece that's going to get you to fix, like your divot pattern, for example. Notice how much of the club goes through the ground. It's not the whole width of the blade, right? So it's not what I call with my juniors iPhone divots. Right. If the divot looks like an iPhone, it's going to solid. That's the width of the blade, and it's going through for a good 6 inches. Love it. These are a little thinner. So there's something going on with your golf club to create a thin divot, and I've never seen a golf club go through the ground where it's heel deep and the toes in the air. Right. But I've definitely seen toe down with the heel up. That would create a thin divot, right?
Right.
Okay, so there's something there. Most of your shots start out to the right. So based on, the radars, TrackMan, ball flight laws, all that fun stuff, something's pointed out to the right. Yeah. Now it goes out to the right, but it goes straight to the right. Yeah. So that's not only the face, but that's the path of your swing going out to the right. So we've got the toe of the club digging into the ground and the path of the swing going well out to the right. Those are the two things that we're going to solve today, but we're going to do it in a kind of a different way. Sure. So set up to your shot for me. Can you make a backswing for me? Okay. You trying to do anything here?
Make sure the hips are rotated.
Yep.
And my shoulders pointed to the ball.
Okay.
I think just for point reference of that.
Okay, I like it. So when you're taking the club back, you've got your arms kind of going in the same direction as your body turn.
So like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we want to try and make sure that we have you. I'm going to kind of be specific with words here so I don't mess you up. Yeah. You being different segments of you, arms versus your torso, right? They have to work in different kind of directions. So I'm trying to feel like I turn my body away from the ball, which I think you do well, but we don't want the arms to take those same directions. We want to feel like the arms go up. Now I turned. See the difference?
Yeah.
So relative to you, they go straight up in the air. So start with that. Okay, now look down at the ball. Okay, and now from here make a big turn. Feel how high your arms are. So you can kind of follow me with this idea here that if I have get a little visual, if you think of like a skeleton, you see like a skeleton's ribs, right? There's like 4 or 5 of them like this. If the ribs are going around in that direction here and my arms take that same direction, then that means on the downswing, as my body starts to turn and my arms start to go, now my arms are going too much on that in to out path. If we think of like a big merry-go-round right here, right? If my arms are coming in from this line right here, there's a good chance that when they speed up, they're going to go out. So I'm going to start to feel it, well, that's going to send everything out that way. It's going to be shallow, meaning that the divots aren't going to be super deep. I mean, we don't have too many here. No one's hit here in a while. But like that was probably one of my guys here, like super, super deep divots. Well, right? Like it's darker, right? So when the golf club, when the arms and the body take the same around path, the same merry-go-round, now I can't lift my arms up, I get stuck. As I start to swing through from your angle here, the club's coming too much into out. So in order to get to the golf ball, we start to lift up on the handle. Now the heel's off the ground as that club's going out to the right. It can go that way, and sometimes it can curve on you to the left. So the pieces where I think that we can get a big change for you is understanding the steepness into the ground, because we can get the steepness obviously by going this way. I can't get steep by going this way. At some point I'd have to lift up and go down. Follow me? So I want it to feel like you're really taking the club and hitting it down this way today, right? The most powerful thing we can do in this frontal in-plane motion here is the wood chopper, right? And if I take my golf swing here, right, and just pivot this way towards you, here's the wood chopper, right? And if I can feel like my arms are chopping this way as I turn my body to the target, that's what brings it around the corner. That's what makes it hit the ball. But I think that every golfer that does any type of research on the game or listens to golf on TV has a concept of swing plane, right? This angle that the club has to, internet term, shallow, to get on plane, to come around the corner, blah, 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 to match up. Okay, so that plane is the most mysterious thing ever in golf. Everybody's been trying to get on it since Hogan had a picture of a plane of glass above his shoulders, and he showed in a sketch, you know, Hogan staying on the plane of glass this way and all the way through that way, and that's why he was so great. Awesome. It's total geometry and it's amazing, but the application to create the golf club appearing on the plane isn't what we think. And so I watch all the time golfers trying to, and lessons where golfers are trying to take it back and look like it gets on plane. I never want to try and put it on plane. I want it to get on plane, and there's a difference there. And the analogy that I use is if I take a pen and I draw a straight line on a wall, okay, and I'm going in this direction, okay, even with the ground. And then I go vertically and I push on it that way, it creates an angled line in between the two. In between the push this way and the push that way, it starts to make an angle. So I've got my merry-go-round that's around this way. I've got my wood chopper that's like this. And if I blend those two together, we create swing plane. But when the golfer tries to put the arms and club on plane, which is really close to the merry-go-round of the pivot, right? Now we have too much flat stuff, you have too much shallowness, and we don't get to the ground. So my goal for you today is to feel as though that your arms, like if I took everything else out of the golf swing and just showed you arm action, right shoulder down to the ground, right shoulder down to the ground. Up relative to your chest and down relative to your chest, not around your body this way. That's pitching, right? That's those shots, around the body, shallow, you know. So I want it to feel like, first of all, you're lifting your arms up really high. Arms go way, way up. Body turns the most because when we look on video, we're going to look at your old backswing here and your new backswing here.
Above my shoulder.
Way up. But like if you think about it, the only way that we can really get up is if we get the arms and club up relative to you and then turn the body. I mean, vice versa, I could feel like my body turned the most and then I lifted up my arms from there. But the trouble is when the arms go around. My arms can only go around so far, my body's only going to go so far. There's no up action for you. So, up with the arms, turn the body, down with the arms. And all I want it to feel like today is that you're almost chopping into the ground. We're going to see it look different, but I want your feeling to feel like you're chopping wood. And if you really chop wood, the axe goes through the wood and it stays down. We don't lift it back up. Okay? So, straight down. Body turn, arms up, down. And we're going to go through those types of shots for a bit.
I guess a divot would be a good telltale.
I hope that you hit the ground just in front of the ball so it squirts out like that. Okay, now that wasn't bad. Like your backswing, I have to tell you, was really, really good.
Yeah.
On the downswing, you swung your arms merry-go-round around with your body. Remember, just down.
Okay.
Like if I sit up to your ball, no, you set up. If I could ask you to hit the shot where I went like that, right? I'd want the golf club not to hit my hand and the ball to take off. Okay. So don't push this golf club on the target side of the ball. Okay. Just down. Not bad. It's weird to say, but there's no speed to your hands or your arms in that direction in the golf swing. The direction for your arms and your hands for speed is straight down here, behind the ball, before the ball.
So it kind of comes down like that, right?
Yeah.
Stop here.
So if I went to the top of a good swing, here I am, everything's all great. If I just did the proper arm motion, that's it, right? It's not from here. It doesn't swing around my body. It doesn't go that way. It only goes from up to down. Okay, so if I went here and then put my body into a finish, see how it went around the corner? It's because this turned. We'll get to that next. That's your last piece. Turn, lift, down. One more time. Let's get on a good lie. Yeah. Okay, so give me a backswing. Pretend I'm standing here. So turn your body the most and lift your arms up. It's going to feel like it goes out. No. One more time. Turn the most. Keep turning. Good. Now lift straight up. There you go. Yeah. I mean, think about if the goal was to make the biggest divot, right? You'd almost never lift the club off the target line, right? But the second that the club starts to work in because you're moving your arms and your body in the same direction, now it's harder for me to get to the ground. Now not only do I have to swing everything around, now I have to keep pushing on the golf club to go around just to make it do anything.
Right.
I don't want to do that. So turn the body and just chop down with the arms like you're leaving the club in the divot. Let's do a couple practice swings, set up to it. Okay, so we'll do 3 practice swings, then we'll hit it. So stand a little farther from the ball, just a touch. Okay, so take it up. Okay, hold it here. So this is good. Hold it. Hold. Yeah. It's not so much that it's arms out, it's that your arms have to stay in front of you. So if this is where the knot on your tie is, it should be right there where your hands are, not behind and orbited around your body. Right. Start again. Arms up, out, around. Yeah, one more time. This might be a cool feeling. So slowly take it back. Okay, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Okay, hold it there. Yeah. Now you're going to feel like your arms are out there, right? Yeah. But your arm's actually inside here. It's just more in front of you instead of it being over here behind you. So it's out toward that tee box where those guys are standing. Yeah, so keep your eye on the ball, make a backswing, and then I want you to come look at it, okay? One more time, back down. More out to the tee box. Keep turning. Okay, come over here. Not bad, way better with the pivot. Good. Again, shift, turn, lift, hold it there. So butt of the club is like right there on that toe line. Good. One more time. Yeah. Slowly to here. Okay. So from here on in, squeeze that space a little bit. Oh, that's better. Okay. Keep that squeezing all the way up. Keep going. Keep squeeze it tighter, tighter. Good. That's what's going to help you. When you're making your backswing and your right arm starts to pull away, that's what gets it into a funky spot. Yeah, there's a cool training out there called the Tour Striker Smart Ball. Wraps around your neck, holds like a little balloon, and all it does is it holds a little necklace, a ball right there, and your job's to take it up squeezing. All the way up, keep going. Keep going, I'll switch all the way up. Is that far as you can go? Yeah. Cool, okay, breathe, hold on, breathe, breathe. All right, now squeeze. Okay, now on the downswing, squeeze, squeeze. There you go. There's a great feeling for you. So that feeling itself is going to put a whole lot of stuff that I talked about into picture, right? Because if you're squeezing, right, and you stop turning, you'll start losing your squeeze. So in order to keep that squeezing close together like that, you really have to turn your body a lot and lift up your arms. Because the second that the arms start going around you, they'll start bending and lifting. And that's the problem in your right arm, this look right here. And I wanted to feel like you're trying to keep your right arm like that, like you're a Heisman, right? boom, right down there like that. Take it to the top. It's out like that. It's into the ball like that, and it's out there like that. Just the whole time, just trying to push that right arm long the whole way. Okay. There you go. Yeah. And whatever body motions you have to do to support the idea of this staying long and close to the other arm. Long arms, close arms. There you go. And through. Good. So our drill to start this off, to get a feeling of this, and I think that the way we have to kind of feel it is that it's a 5-shot drill. But we could probably do it a 4-shot drill. And the reason we're going to do 4 shots is to change how tight you're squeezing the arms together. So we're going to start with one right here. Okay. My arms are feeling like the forearms squeeze tight, and I'm going to keep it at like an 8 out of 10 squeeze. Back, through. Okay, and keep it squeezed the whole time. Then the next one, 7 out of 10 squeeze, back, through. Okay, 6 out of 10 squeeze, just keeping them close, not crazy tight, through. And then the last one, 5 out of 10. So this is one that feels really loose, but we're trying to keep them close. And then go back to the 8 out of 10. And just trying to feel like you have a sense of what it's like to stay tight and what that's going to do to your swing because of that. And then just loosening it up a little bit to take some of that awkward squeeze out of there. But I think that the biggest thing we can do right now is see if I squeeze, like tennis ball, right? If I squeeze the tennis ball, how far back can I, or up can I get that tennis ball? Up, like clouds up. Not back to Hirsch and back over there, not back behind you. We're not trying to look like Matt Kuchar today. Yeah. We're trying to feel like you're a long driver, lifting your arms up to the sky. Tennis ball up, tennis ball down. Okay, cool. All your ferrules are coming off, eh?
Yeah, I'm due. These are hand-me-downs from 2 years ago.
Well, they're also collector's items.
Yes, that's because when the arms get too deep behind you, that creates too shallow. So if the club hits the ground too soon, that's too shallow. If the divot's really thick, that can be considered steep. So shallow, in to out too much, club hitting the ground too soon, all the same thing. And our fix for that is more hands out. This is the difference between pressure and actual weight. Right. So when I get to the top of my swing, my weight is probably in front of the golf ball. Right. My pressure's back because my foot's off the ground. Right. So I'm pushing into that grass, even though the heaviest part of me being here to the top of my head is this side of center. Follow me? Yeah. So we want to try and feel at the top of your swing that you're pushing into that foot, but you're pushing in as you're trying to move your body a little bit more toward the target that way.
So let's try and do this when you hit a shot. Yeah. Let's just say that this was your last divot here. Mm-hmm. Let's take the next ball and put it right there on that piece of grass, and we'll end up taking like stripes. Okay. So you can see, like there's a stripe there, right? Let's take some stripes like that. Good. Not too bad. So the relationship between the arms going around you and being low versus the arms basically just going straight up is how far the grip of the club gets from the target line. So if I take it back right around my belt like that, now it gets really far from the target line, right? So from there, that means it has this much of an in to out to create. That's thin, that's for you, that's push fades, right? But if I can feel as though that the handle of the club stays on the target line the whole way back, that gives me the chance to get the highest, right? So the way that we are going to feel like we create any type of like lag to this is just feeling as though that the club head gets to the inside of the handle. But if we can keep the handle staying out in front of us this way because it stays on the target line, that's going to be kind of our ideal situation. Well, especially on this side. So from here, it'll go through that way. So trying to get the hands to go out with the club head in behind you that way, up, 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 and then swing through. Right? My hands are way above these toes instead of being around me that way. Okay? Gets me a little bit steeper.
Your right hand is a bit bent. Like, is that
My right hand. Here?
no? Like when you're up, when you're holding it up,
Yeah.
at the top of the backswing, it's here. So should it be straight or?
Well, it's so if the elbow goes this way, then it gets stuck, then yes, I'd want your arm to be straight.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with the elbow bending as long as my arm stays in front of my chest like that. But when yours goes around, you see the difference? Like I'm bent.
In front of the line.
Yeah, so my shoulders moved my elbow to here, where now my shoulder is pulling my elbow behind me. I don't like that. So that's where I start feeling straight. But yeah, if I wanted to look at the straight part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. So take it up, big turn, arms out toward me. Okay. So there's impact right there. Look at the ball. Okay, take it up from there. Slowly bring it into the ball. Kind of lines it up pretty straight. Yeah, that's it. It's different, very different. So we're going to go through the stages of trying to feel like it stays out there, by using your arms. It's going to feel like you're squeezing, you're using, but then eventually I want it to go out there feeling like the arms are softer, right? So if they can stay soft and wide, that's when they can stretch in the downswing, create more power. So it's going to go from getting the hands in the right spot to then getting them there soft. There you go, good. Tension free the whole way up, total, like you can breathe. There you go. Good job.